So I've got a lot of background in driving a cab.
So why the switch to Uber?
Oh, it's so much better as far as making money with Uber than driving a cab. With a cab, you've got huge overhead. You've got, like, I was paying $600 a week for my lease on my taxi. And on top of that, I was driving a Crown Victoria, so it was costing me, $50 to $70 a day in gas. There was nothing left over. I could work out there 100 or more hours a week, which was often, and take home less than poverty wages. So driving Uber, I don't have that overhead. All I have is my maintenance of my car and just keep up my insurance and good
Take me
shape.
through the steps of how you signed up for Uber and qualified for Uber.
Well, Uber's got ads all over the place right now to respond to for being a driver. Look in Craigslist, for instance. Look in the transportation section of the jobs. Look in the labor section, the gigs, anywhere in there. You'll find ads all over for Uber drivers. You have to pass their background check. You have to have a great driving record. You have to have a good vehicle. They're going to require pictures and inspection of your vehicle. Your vehicle has to be taken down to a garage and be inspected. I think it's like 24-point safety inspection mandated by the state of California. So, there's a lot of things you have to jump through, a lot of hoops. So if you're a good quality person, you believe in customer service, you have a good vehicle, and it matches Uber's requirements, and you can pass their tests, then you can be an Uber driver.
So from beginning to end, how long did it take you to qualify and start?
I think my case was a special case because they were trying to gear up, so there's a lot of mishandling of things, and it took me over a month to get going. It shouldn't take you more than maybe a week or two to get going.
So are you on call right now?
I can be. I've got my app on right now, so if anybody called, I could take a call. So basically, there's an Uber app on this phone. They supply the phone, and the only thing in this phone is that Uber app. And I press on that, and then I could choose to go online when it boots up here. I'm already online, but there would be a button there where it can go online. So I'm online right now. It shows me where I'm at with that little dot there, and then from there, whoever's the closest vehicle when somebody calls gets the call. So it's all in GPS. So if somebody called nearby here and I was closest one, it would offer me the call. I don't have to accept the call. I could reject it if I'm doing something else, but of course it behooves me to take as many calls as possible. The customer has an app on their Android or their iPhone, either way, and they could pinpoint where they are at and order a car. They could also see all the cars around them of who's closest. Once the call is assigned, the customer then gets a picture of the driver coming to get them, gets the license number of the vehicle, a description, so they know who's coming to pick them up, and it should match. And there's a Uber sign in the windshield, so that lights up at nighttime, and customers can see that. They know that I'm their Uber car. I stayed out all day today, like say until late afternoon. I'd probably get maybe 20 calls, somewhere around there.
And how does that compare with a taxi when you drove a taxi?
Fairly similar as far as the volume goes. The main difference again is what I'm paying to do it.
Now what if you hung around near the airport? Are you allowed to pick up there?
No, you have to have special permits for the airport. There are Uber drivers that are able to do that, but you got to jump through a lot of hoops to do that.
Is it a fixed fee? How does it work?
No, it's based on mileage and time, just like on a taxi. It runs through the app. I don't even know, like on a taxi, that's one of the drawbacks as far as I'm concerned, is that I don't have a meter to show during the trip how much it's going. We never know until the end of the trip.
The customer doesn't know either.
Yeah, they find out when it comes up on their app. Once I clear the trip on here, it shows how much it is, and it shows them on their device.
So let's say we're in Balboa Park now and you were to take me to the airport.
Uh-huh.
Is it charging me by the mile?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. By time also?
Time if we're in traffic. If we're going like a red light, or if we're stopped, it goes into time. If we're moving, it goes into mileage. So
how much is it per mile?
I think it's $1.95 a mile right now.
And then if we slow down but don't stop, is that an additional charge?
It just depends. The computer figures it out as to which is more lucrative, basically. So if I'm going really slow, the mileage might not be a good thing, so it goes over to time. I think it's somewhere around like 11 miles an hour or so that it'll switch over to time, but it's never on both at the same time.
What might it cost me? Balboa
Probably less than $10.
And what would it cost in a taxi?
Just a little more, maybe about 12 or 13.
I see.
We're about 2/3 of what a cab is. Oh yeah, I work at night quite often.
Like in the wee hours of the morning?
Oh yeah, I do that quite often. I'll work till bar time, and sometimes if I still feel okay and energetic, I'll stay out past bar time, because I know a lot of the other cars get to go home, and people will call. And late at night, that's when you get people that are stranded on the highway or something. They can't get somewhere. They're going to go on longer trips. I've had many trips out of town in my taxi, by sitting up like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
As far as where?
Oh, I've gone to Yucaipa, if you know where that's at, up by way east of San Bernardino. I've gone to Los Angeles a couple times.
But wait, you only get paid taking them up there.
Yeah, right,
And so you have to pay your own costs coming back.
right.
But it's still
Yeah.
worth it.
It's still worth it, yeah, sure.
Wow.
Yeah. If I went 100 miles to LA, say it's $2 a mile in Uber, well, $2 a mile, you know, say you get $200. The gas is going to cost you about 25 around there. So yeah, it's worth it.